Hi, and welcome to another Dolphin. I'm Dan Wendell, the owner of Dolphin Financial Group, and today's topic is going to be about hitting a home run, maybe a grand slam. Maybe we'll just call it hitting the lottery with cryptocurrency. That's what we're going to call this show. And this was a recommended topic by my trusty sidekick, Tony. So why don't we bring him in here? There he is. Tony, thanks for joining the show. You wanted to talk about this article you sent me from Business
Yeah,
Insider. And you know it would get me going because, I mean, it is a hot topic. It is a hot topic. So I
it
just
is
want to,
right now. It's really a hot topic. I walked by the TV out in our lobby here and I saw the Chiron said, and I forget the name of the company now, but it said breaking news such and such uh, cryptocurrency company skyrockets in 2021. And it wasn't the same as the article. It wasn't the Shiba Inu, which we're going to get to, but it was one of them. It was actually the company that does it was a group that does the actual mining, I think, that was doing really well.
gotcha. Yeah. And there's been discussions about, well, there's a public company called Coinbase, which is a big exchange where people go to buy and sell.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Coinbase was up, the numbers were huge.
Right, but then the last quarter they went down because less people were trading. So the
Right.
frenzy that happened. But you
Yep.
sent me this article. I'm going to read the headline to the listeners here. The viewers can read it below. Well, actually, Tony, why don't you read the headline? You got a better voice.
Well, yeah. I When I saw this, I said, "Oh, I got to forward this to Dan." Business Insider: Man turns $8,000 into $1 million with Shiba Inu cryptocurrency, and it's a meme cryptocurrency like Dogecoin, where it's just based on a meme. They just throw this thing out there, and some guy bought into it with 8 grand, and now he's a millionaire. He's in his 30s. He retired, right? From
Yes, yes.
he was a stock guy at a supermarket warehouse.
Uh-huh. In England. Now, the headline that I read on Business Insider, so and I'll put the link to the show notes for those that are watching on YouTube.
Sure.
But they said an $8,000 bet on Shiba
Oh
Inu
yeah,
coin,
bet.
and
Yeah.
and so I put he turns 8,000 into a million. Um, it is a bet, but what's interesting, Shiba Inu, is that a dog breed? Is that what that is?
A Shiba Inu is a. I think it's Shiba Inu. I think that's how you say it. But a
It's like a
Shiba
dog breed.
Inu, it is a dog. Yeah. Yeah, it's the dog that's in all the memes. It's the dog that is in the Dogecoin meme that Dogecoin's actually based on is a Shiba Inu. And then so somebody just started a new cryptocurrency and just called it Shiba Inu. That's the breed of dog.
Isn't it? I mean, I say Dogecoin too, but when you spell it, isn't it dog e coin, like doggy coin?
Doggy coin. Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling it doggy coin just to piss
Yeah.
off the
I
younger
call it
people.
Dogecoin, but
I
for
think that's what
fun.
the general rule is Dogecoin.
But this is crazy. But yeah, the actual headline, I read your headline, but you're right. The actual headline said an $8,000 bet on the Shiba Inu coin allowed a warehouse manager to retire after the meme coin's stunning rally.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk
Yeah.
about this because a lot of my clients are really close to retirement or in retirement, and they're not out there looking to buy and sell cryptocurrency. But I will say, I do have I do have clients that ask me about it
Oh,
because
sure.
you can't avoid it.
No.
You just can't avoid it.
Especially if people have the clients you work with that have extra money saved up and
Mhm.
want to put some of it at risk. So they're like, "Hey, I see some guy made $1 million off 8 grand."
Right.
Right.
So let's dig into this article a bit. I'll give you my take. But yeah, thanks for this is great. And for listeners, remember, I'm I'm a fiduciary, but I'm not giving investment advice on this show. I'm not telling you what to do or buy this coin, so please don't take that as the takeaway here. But
No.
okay, so this guy, he was making $68,000 a year. That's his salary as a warehouse guy, right, in
Yep.
England. So, and I don't know where that is in England or how much 68,000 means in terms of his wealth compared to his neighborhood or whatever. But let's just assume that's similar to a $68,000 here in the United States, and it's slightly above average, maybe middle class. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
probably
he
like
was
a
married,
50. It's probably like a $55,000 salary here, I would
right?
guess. But
So if you have a $68,000 salary and you have $8,000 to that you then invest, you got to think about that in terms of how much is that relative to your income?
right.
What's the rule? The wedding ring, you're supposed to spend 3 months of income or something like
What
that.
percentage of your income should
Right.
go toward Bitcoin each year?
Right. So what percentage of your income should go to a wedding ring? No, I meant Shiba Inu, right? So
Yep.
right off the bat, I'm looking at this saying, okay, all right. If this is all of his savings, we're really gambling here. This is a foolish move. Foolish move. If it's part of a big savings bucket he's got a retirement plan, a 401k, he's sitting on cash, he's got his emergency fund, and he's investing money. Maybe $8,000 is just a flyer, and it's something he was willing to lose. So this is what happened. He took the 8,000 and he decided to invest in Shiba Inu slowly. Now, for those that have no idea what we're talking about, still, it's a cryptocurrency coin. It's you could buy it and sell it on an exchange, but you can't actually hold it. So when you see the pictures online, you see a little coin with a gold coin with a dog on it. That doesn't exist. They exist, but it's not like it's a gold coin that you're buying.
No.
There's no intrinsic value.
It's virtual money.
It's paper money, right?
Paper money.
So
it's e-money.
He's buying this, he said, slowly over time, and he intended for his holdings to grow to tens of thousands of dollars. So, and this is from the article. I'm not making this up. This is what he said, right? So he said, I'm going to put 8,000 in, and I'm going to put it over time, maybe 1,000 a month or 1,000 a week or whatever it is. He didn't get into specifics, but it was going to be slowly, and he intended to grow to tens of thousands. So let's call that 30,000. So he's investing 8,000. Maybe he's hoping to get 24. Maybe he's hoping to triple his money, right?
Right.
For how long? He certainly didn't expect it to what happened to happen, right? So
Right.
I give him credit for
Right.
saying I was going to do this and I was hoping to turn it into tens of thousands. It's a lofty, lofty goal.
Yep.
But maybe he said maybe in 10 years this thing will be worth 30,000, and then hey, reasonable.
Yeah.
You don't know. So when I'm looking at people asking me about cryptocurrency, they're not asking make 10 or 20. They're looking at this article saying, I'm going to invest in cryptocurrency because I heard I can turn that 8,000 into 800,000. Right? So I think right off the bat, people have pretty weird expectations about cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
But there's for good reason. What happened?
Because they read about this guy in the news and say, "Hey, I should have done that." Well, yeah, it's like that's like pointing to a lottery winner or the one guy that actually walks out of a Vegas casino up. Hey, I need to do that.
I should be buying the 1,000 a week for life scratch off tickets from the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I see this as, similar, right? So in May of 2021, the coin skyrocketed. It was up 12,000 per
1,200.
I'm sorry, 1,200%. 1,200% than it was just 4 months earlier.
1,200% higher. That's unbelievable.
Right? Hey, if I could get you 10% in a year, that's like, yeah.
I'm like, yes, 10% is a good return on investment right now.
1,200%.
Yeah.
Crazy. Totally crazy, but not unreasonable when you're talking about these crazy coins.
Yeah.
You mentioned easy. Bitcoin's up big, right? I mean, it wasn't too long ago you can get Bitcoin for under $1,000. Now it's what, 60 or 70,000?
Yeah, it's crazy now.
Right? So what does he do? What does he do? Now I know what you would do. If you put in 8,000 and then next thing you know, you're up 10%. You might be like, oh, what. But if you're up 1,000%,
I'm pulling the money out.
100,000,
I'm
what are you doing?
cashing out.
Well, in the article, it talks about how he was looking at it every hour. He was like, like, oh my goodness, when is this going to disappear? Because he was like, this can't be real. He kept checking. Oh my God, it's real. It's real. It's just happening. This is happening. So eventually, he cashed out 500,000.
Wow.
He cashed out 500,000, but he kept some. He invested in some other coins. He kept some in there. He just took 5,000 cream off the top.
500,000.
500,000.
Yeah.
Sorry, 500,000. So right away, I'm happy for the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he did something really difficult. I'm not saying it's not difficult to pick to invest in something and have it go up that much. That's not difficult. That's just lucky, right?
Right.
That's just
luck.
Complete and utter
It's
luck.
like winning the lottery. Yeah.
But what's difficult is taking that profit. A lot of
taking
people,
it out because you haven't made anything until you cash it out. That's
right.
the thing. But once you cash out, there's opportunity loss. And so people are like, I got to leave it in. I've already made this much. What if it doubles again? And
Which is what it did. Which is what it did. It kept going up.
Yeah.
It kept going up. He took 500 out. It kept going up. He left other stuff in there, invested in some other similar coins. Next thing you know, it's still going up. And now he's got over $1 million.
Yeah. And hopefully he's cashed out that full $1 million. That's where I would be concerned. Like, don't keep going at this point. You got $1 million, invest it somewhere safer.
Well, he didn't necessarily do that. And I want to pull a quote from this. I'm going to grab it, but while I'm looking, he made some comments about how it was different than other investments, how he made close friends that were investing with him, that formed a little group, and he's talking with people on Twitter, and he's he felt like part of a movement, as it were, and you don't get that necessarily when you invest in Apple stock, although some people feel, oh, I was part of the Apple movement. But let me show you his statement that at the end of the article. I am emotionally attached, which can be quite dangerous in crypto environments.
Yeah.
But we believe so strongly that there is more to achieve with Shiba. We believe. So now he's not unless he's talking to the royal we. He is from England, so he could be talking to the royal we, or he's involved his wife, and she's like, "We're sticking with it." I think he means we, the Shiba, acolytes.
He means the people. Yes, he's involved. It's the article actually says that he actually met people who he made very close friends through Shiba, and they formed a little group, he said.
Yeah, he's a cult. I mean, no.
So a gambling group.
He says emotional attachment can be quite dangerous in crypto environments. Emotional attachment can be quite dangerous in any investing environment, right?
Yes.
I know people that are attached to stocks.
Everything. Yeah.
I know people who are emotionally attached to physical gold.
Yeah.
They like,
it can't even happen to real estate,
In real estate, I can't sell that house. Why not? I grew up in it. Or, that was my first house I bought, and, I'm renting it out. Or, it means too much to me. I got mineral rights in Kentucky. Why? My father left them to me. Why don't you sell them? They're at all-time highs. Yeah. No, I'd rather eat dog food because I don't want to sell it. So emotional attachment. We've done shows on behavioral finance, and the keys and different things that people, the pitfalls of investing, and emotional attachment's one of them. And at least he's acknowledging that. But I'm afraid he's going to end up like a lot of these people that are investing, and they're going to take this, parlay it into the next cryptocurrency movement, which won't work out so well.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Or people will read this story and they'll pour money into Shiba Inu, which now is so people buy in high.
Right.
Which he did not. which
Right.
he did not. And people listening have to understand that by the time you hear a story like this on an investment opportunity, it's too late, right?
Right. I used to
Am I
say,
right, Dan?
totally. I used to say all the time, when my mom starts asking me about something, then I know it's,
You
if
said
she's calling
that.
me up saying, "Hey, what about gold?" Then I know, all right, time to sell gold.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
get
know
out.
what my mom also used to say when she was alive. Every time I tell a story like this, she'd be like, "Oh, he made $1 million? That's before taxes." And
Oh,
that's an interesting point to be made here, because
yes.
this
Oh,
guy,
that's a good point.
what do we say here? He turned um 8,000 into $1 million,
Yeah.
and that was over a short time. In May, it skyrocketed from the year 4 months earlier.
Yeah.
So that's February. So we're looking at 4 months. That's less than a year. That's short-term gains. That's ordinary income.
Yep.
So $1 million in 1 year's salary, you're at the top tax bracket right there.
Yep.
Right. So there
Plus
goes the
you add
third.
add in his 68,000 that he's already making. And then maybe there's maybe there's some other income in there. He is definitely at the top of the tax bracket. So
Right. So then it's like, well, do I hold out for a year to get the long-term gains? Is that the way crypto is going to be taxed? Is it taxed that way? Who knows? It's still so new that, and what people are saying to me is, Dan, oh, this is so new. Oh, how can you make 12,000 or 1,200%? How can you turn 10,000 into 100,000 in such a
right.
short time? This is uncharted territory. And I was like, no, it's not. People have been doing this with penny stocks for years.
Yes.
I remember
They've been
trading
doing it in the
stocks.
stock market for
Right.
years.
I remember trading stocks when it wasn't digital. It was, eighth and a quarter of a point. And
Sure.
there was, the spreads were in fractions, not in decimals. And I also remember doing it on paper, having to write in the stock trades and in carbon copies, and keeping physical paper of the trades, and putting the orders in and hoping that it gets in time because of the time lag.
Right.
And during those days, and even today, there are people buying, and they call them penny stocks, and it's typically a stock that's trading for less than $1, over long term.
Sure.
They trade on the pink sheets instead of the over the, and so instead of like the stock exchange. But bottom line is, people still buying these, so you can
Yep.
buy it for 5 cents. It wasn't too long ago, before cryptocurrency really became the hype. It was the marijuana stocks. All the
Yep.
marijuana stocks are trading at 5 cents, and it's going to go to $1. That's no different than the cryptocurrency.
Yep.
It's the same thing. It's a risk. It's a gamble. At least with the marijuana stocks, there's some sort of product behind it, theoretically, or a company behind it. With the
Yeah, there's an actual industry behind it, and
Right.
there's actually business being done. Cryptocurrency is all it's all electronic. It's ones and zeros that aren't tangible. So that's and being old school, that's where a lot of folks like myself, that's where I have a problem and get risk averse. I'm very risk adverse to cryptocurrency. And then I see stories like that and I'm like, oh, but he
That
was
could have
way
been me.
into it. But he was way into it. And it sounded like he really got in with some people that knew what they were doing. And I mean, I think that he did get lucky. I mean, it's a gamble, it's a bet. Like the headline said, he bet on this cryptocurrency and he won.
Well,
And a lot of people bet and lose.
they
So
do. Or you know what also happens a lot of times. And we did that show. I'll put it up here on Tony's risk aversion. Right? We did a risk aversion, and how
yes,
you wouldn't even take a coin flip bet that was a sure winner. Right. So there's no way you're doing this. But here's what
no,
happens in reality. All right. So let's say, Tony, you're one of my clients, and you come to me and say, "Hey, what about this cryptocurrency business?" And I say, and I'll say what I say to my clients is, listen, it's risky. It's uncharted territory in terms of how it really works. There's no recourse if someone steals your money. It's not like the FDIC's got your back. The SEC's looking into this. But let's say you were going to dabble, right? Let's say you were
yeah,
going to do it, and you took the 8,000. Now, if one of my clients is taking 8,000, putting it in, that's going to be a very, very small percentage of their overall net worth. If that 8,000, you put it in, whoop, it's gone. they're not going to lose sleep. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
You put in what you lose sleep. But what would happen, Tony, typically is, let's say you did it, you put it in 8,000. Let's say you did this, and you were the same guy. You did this, and all of a sudden, the next day, you wake up, your 8,000 is 18,000. What are you going to do?
If 8,000 wasn't that big of a percentage of my savings or investments, and it's not something I'd lose sleep over, I'd let it ride.
All right, now it's
at
the next day
18,000.
it's 30,000, Tony. Next day it's 30.
It gets harder,
Right.
but I'd still let it ride.
All right, where are you pulling the trigger? He pulled it at when it was closer to $1 million. He took 500 off the top.
I wouldn't make it to $1 million, not even close. I wouldn't make it to 500,000. I probably would have pulled the trigger at about 50.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is what the average person probably does. But this guy took a gamble and he said, why not? And so I'm not going to fault him on it, right? I'm not going to beat him up on it. I'm not going to say he's smart, because I think he got lucky, right?
He got lucky.
But he was disciplined enough to take the money out. Now, is he going to lose it all? Because we've done shows on lotto winners and how most of them wind up bankrupt, right?
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, you when you're investing like this, you have to have a plan. And his plan was to turn his 8,000 into tens of thousands. Let's call it 50, give him the benefit of the doubt. Once he hit 50, he's got to say to himself, why did I do this again?
Yeah.
And he can't beat himself up when he pulls out. You can't beat yourself up. You pull yourself out at 50. Next day, that 50 would have been 500,000. That emotional turmoil of missing out can really destroy people.
Yeah.
So that's something no one wants to talk about.
Right.
But it's true.
But it could also destroy you if you were up to 50 and you didn't pull it out, and the next day it was worth nothing. And, it was worth $500 and you lost.
Right. You lost $7,500 when you were up 50,000.
Yeah.
That's something that could really destroy your life, right?
Yeah.
That could really destroy your life. Losing, but that's why you don't want to put money in that you can't afford to lose.
Yes.
So that if it does flip and go the opposite direction, just like it very well could, it could easily go to zero because it just disappears.
Yeah.
So, you call up, you can't show up at someone's door and say, can I take my Shiba Inu coin out? They'd be like, who are you? What are you? Right.
Yeah.
So you got to be willing to lose it all.
Yeah.
But there are some lessons here when it comes to retirement planning. If you're going to dabble into something like this, I would look to keep it really low in terms of overall net worth. And what is low? I say the same thing about gold. What's wrong with 5% of your net worth going into something like precious metals? Is it bad? No. Is it bad to put 5% of your net worth into cryptocurrency? It's not bad. Is it good? I'm not going to say it's good either. I'm just going to say, I could comfortably say, hey, I'm putting 50% of my net worth into cryptocurrency. I might say, whoa, let's talk.
You're not going to let any of your clients put a very big percentage at all into anything that has risk, right?
Anything that has risk, right? Whether it's an individual stocks or bonds or an annuity. No, we're not putting that percentage in. Are you crazy? We're going to, spread the risk out. So, but it's tempting when you hear home run stories like this. You kind of like,
The guy did hit a home. The guy did hit a home run. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a story though. And I mean, it's and these coins, it's an electronic, it's not real, it's virtual money. It's not
Okay, boomer.
Ones and zeros, my friend. It's floating around out there in the interwebs.
You know what I think I might do though? I might take 100% of my children's net worth and put it in to cryptocurrency.
Now that's all for that.
Considering they don't have any net worth at this point, or it's negative.
Very little, since their net worth is coming out of your pocket anyway at this point.
Right. It's negative net worth for them. Yeah. All right. Speaking of the kids, let me bring them in. Tony, thanks for bringing that. It's a good article. Thanks for bringing it.
Thanks.
You're keeping the show fun, and we'll catch you next time.
All matters discussed in today's show are for informational purposes only.
This show is not investment advice.
Dan Riddle nor Dolphin Financial Group are affiliated or endorsed by any government agency.
Investment advisory services are offered through Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc., a registered investment advisor in the state of Florida.
Insurance products and services are offered through Dolphin Insurance, Inc.
Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc. and Dolphin Insurance, Inc. are affiliated companies doing businesses as Dolphin Financial Group.
You should talk to someone at Dolphin Financial Group before implementing any of these strategies or ideas.